I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
The all-new 2024 Porsche Cayenne.
Coupe with launch control. Those are hard shifts.
Horsepower and torque.
348 horsepower, 368 pound-feet of torque from a turbo 3-liter V6.
All right, so it's my fault we didn't get the V8 one.
Yeah, Yuri's like, oh, I want the coupe in the brighter color. Meanwhile, we could have had an S with the V8.
Yeah, instead Accelerate got that one, so shout out Accelerate.
Yeah, go watch his video as well. But we got the regular new Cayenne. This is actually where I like to start. Honestly, I like to start at the bottom and just kind of work my way up through the Cayennes because then I know what to expect from every model.
Yeah, you don't get disappointed on like going down one.
Exactly.
You just get more happy every time you get to a new one.
And I'm actually not disappointed with this power. Like, this is great power for what you get out of a base model. Like, it's not slow. It's the correct amount of power to the point that you don't feel like you're getting ripped off or anything like that.
Yeah, and then the first thing I noticed moving inside, old digital gauge cluster.
Dude, everything is digital. Everything on the inside has been significantly changed. This is a refresh. The outside has also been changed, but not as significantly as the inside.
I like having 3 screens in front of me at all times.
Yeah, only in front of you because I can't see that passenger screen. But let's go through Cliche Corner first and see what this does in the wet, Yuri. Yeah, still feels like a Cayenne in a very good way.
More oversteery than understeery when you get on it.
Yes, but a little sketchy today just because of how wet it is. But they did, whoa, yes, oversteer.
Was that everything off?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so
Dude, this is sick.
I accidentally put a little too much mustard on that hot dog.
Let's turn that back on.
Earlier today in the
Yes.
rain, and I had everything on, and it pulled me back in super quickly. So, you know.
Yeah, and I had to pull ourselves back in super quickly.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to get a nice handly SUV still from a Cayenne. Obviously, I wouldn't expect any less, but I am driving in Sport Plus, and this has all new suspension. It's like a 2-chamber, 2-valve design. The air suspension is fantastic. It makes the variability from normal to Sport Plus even greater, and I do notice it, especially over imperfections. Or driving this in normal mode, it almost feels floaty going in a straight line, like almost, but still very comfortable.
And I, as always, have a lower gauge of feeling how much dampness is actually working, and to me it's all pretty similar.
Yeah, but it's still very comfortable, and then you can notice the difference in Sport Plus.
Yeah, in Sport Plus I felt fine, and
Yeah.
I'm sure most of you out there, when you drive cars, you're not as in tune with dampers as Jacob. Like,
That's
you feel
right.
that crack in that road? Bro, you can feel it here, switch quickly. And I'm like, okay man, it's like all the same-ish.
Suspension damper is my middle name here.
Yeah, Jacob's suspension damper.
I don't have a last name.
You don't have a last name. That's why everyone keeps looking up that wrong guy
Yeah, exactly.
on LinkedIn. It sounds Polish. It must be him.
But yeah, so this car has been significantly updated. I think Porsche even says it's like the most significant update in history because this is a refresh, not an all-new model. So let's get to this interior.
The screens are wild. As a passenger, I feel like, okay, what am I, an IMAX or something?
Yeah.
But it's got a cool protective layer so you can't see this. And then I can see videos and stuff on here, but not actually because we don't have a plan to watch videos, which means I can't watch even the instructional videos on how to use features in this car.
So if you log into a free Porsche account, you just have to make an account yourself, the video does show up. As long as you're tethering to your phone or any other 4G or 5G Wi-Fi hotspot, this will actually work for you. And then you need a Screen Hits account, which then allows you to play all of these types of videos. There you go, it does work. But then the passenger can also see all these cool little features like, well, you tell me because I can't actually see it right now.
How about we let the car tell me?
Cockpit, media, navigation.
Yeah, so you can also have it tell you what you're clicking on, and you can like see like the gauge clusters and all that kind of stuff, and connect devices, set up navigation. It's what you'd expect.
And then we have a full digital display in front of the driver for the first time ever. We also have a digital tach, which is very interesting for a Porsche.
Okay, so back to that. you can actually see all the pods and they're not covered by the steering wheel for once in a newer Porsche.
That's right. So they fixed a lot of things with this generation in terms of other Porsches that we've driven, like the 911 is what you're talking about. And speaking of the 911, we have a 911 steering wheel, if you've noticed.
Yeah.
This is straight out of a 911, like the drive modes, all that stuff. I love it. Like a GT wheel.
The first thing I noticed when I got in, I'm like, oh, I want to see if I can shift perfectly a red line without bogging it down on my first digital gauge cluster. And what happens when you try to shift right at red line?
It shifts for you. Actually, it won't automatically upshift as long as you don't hit the kick down pedal. Yeah, so there are a bunch of different modes if you cycle with your thumb on this wheel, and they're all pretty intuitive. They all work really well. My favorite one is the 5-gauge pod, just because of what the type of information is displayed, and you can customize them between each mode as well.
You really need to know your tire pressure and your G meter in a base Cayenne?
Always. How else am I going to impress my son in the back? But the rest of this also is very Taycan-like. So our main infotainment is basically straight out of the Taycan, and then our shifter beside that is also like the Taycan, where you have to like reach up here, which clears up a lot of space down here.
And for anyone who wants to put it in full manual mode, you actually have to hold down. I tried just clicking and it didn't work.
Yeah, and then down here we have our digital display for all the climate, and then we still do have our hard buttons for certain things, which is really nice, and then touch buttons as well, which you have to like click to press, like the heated seats and the cooled seats, so that's pretty cool.
There's no blank buttons in sight.
Not that we can see.
No, like nothing can be blank. There's no room. It's like filled up.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a model without ventilated or heated seats or something.
Oh, there's definitely one without cooled seats. This is an option on this one.
I wonder what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because this looks like pretty complete. It looks like I didn't miss out on any options.
Yep, and then if we swipe this up over here, we have this luxurious wireless charger. And
swipe up. You made me think it was like a BMW sunroof.
This actually does that with this. You just like tap it.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be a swipe.
You swipe with your finger.
That's a push.
Whatever. And it is all gloss black, which does kind of suck, but this is a luxury car, so whatever. And then we have this cool textured material up here, which you can like rest your finger on to use the infotainment, which is really nice.
Porsche. Right?
Oh, God.
That meme that's played out. I mean, like, a lot of people imitated it, but like nothing's funnier than who's the guy?
Whistling Diesel. Yeah.
He said that, he just smashes it like.
Mercedes.
Yeah. He won. You gotta stop making.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop copying the meme at that point.
Yeah. Game over.
Yeah, that guy pretty much just wins everything.
He wins the internet, car internet for sure.
Yeah.
And then we do have these grab handles that are a staple in the Cayenne's history, so they're still here.
Grab handle.
And then if we look down at our floor mats here, we don't have any TuxMat in here.
No, get a set of TuxMat to cover a lot more of this carpet, because these floor mats really don't go high up at all down here.
So go to tuxmat.com/TheStraightPipes to see what they have for your car. And I'll let you talk about the rest of the interior later, but let's get to the 8-speed auto. It is not a dual clutch, it is not a PDK because it's a Cayenne, so it needs to tow. And it doesn't shift the fastest, but it's actually pretty decent considering it's a traditional auto.
They program a lot of kick into it for every shift when you...
Yeah, especially on that like launch control launch, it's pretty impressive. And then the engine, like I said earlier, it doesn't feel like you're lacking on power. Obviously, more power is always better, especially from a V8. But we have 13 more horsepower than the previous one. So they've like updated every powertrain slightly, but the most on the S, considering that now has a V8. So 0 to 60 for this is like the mid 5 seconds, which is really quick for an entry-level model.
Yeah,
really quick.
Every car is like fast now.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of crazy.
It is. All right, let's get you in here.
I'm already in here.
Here.
Automatic, Sport Plus, traction on, sport response launch control.
Okay.
It's so jumpy.
I know.
I like it.
It's great.
Okay, so the outside, I like that the front end does not look anything like the Macan.
Yeah, it's not like a big gaping mouth as much.
Yeah, it looks nice. And then up to like the Turbo GT model even looks cool and everything like that.
Yeah, we got really nice looking headlights. They are updated as well.
I like that it's a coupe.
Yeah, of course, from the side.
Yeah.
This is my favorite coupe of all the coupe SUVs, though.
Yeah, this looks really nice. I've got a little spoiler that pops up sometimes and comes back down.
But you can't independently control that yourself. That's just like based on acceleration or speed.
Yeah, like most 911s or Porsches, they do that on their own.
No, you always have the button in the infotainment.
Not always, but then Porsche's got that. There's that one Panamera that I see on the road. Every time I see it with the Transformer spoiler,
Oh, yeah.
I get behind it. I'm like, just start transforming. Please do some acceleration. I want to see it go up.
There was also a Cayenne that had that too.
One time I yelled at a guy. I'm like, make your spoiler do the thing, and he did it. The
There you
fact
go.
that he knew how to do that quickly meant he was stoked on that. That was probably the reason he bought that Panamera.
Of course, car guy gets it.
Okay, do you like the wheels on this?
Okay, yes and no. I do like the design and overall aesthetic of them, but I don't like how 21s now look like 17s. Like,
Because they
they
got
look
so
so
much
small.
sidewall?
Yeah, they look so small for the body, but they actually look good on the car.
For everyday driving around, like, give me some fat sidewall. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. And what would be the Continental recommended tire for a Cayenne coupe?
The Conti Sport Contact 5, and definitely head to continentaltire.com/TheStraightPipes to see your recommended winter tire, because yes, we are getting to winter tire season.
Yeah, and if you go to Conti Canada on Instagram, there is a rebate right now for winter tires. I already got all my winter tires put on before November for one, so shout out myself for thinking ahead.
And a new color for this year is the Montego Blue Metallic that we have that does not pop in this overcast, but does look pretty cool.
Montego or Montego?
Whatever you want to say. I'm saying Montego.
But you know me, I still don't like blue cars. Imagine if like this was a green. Well, I guess it's kind of greenish.
Ish.
And then exhaust tips. Are you happy with them? Are you mad about them?
For a base model, totally fine. It's like they take the regular tip and just kind of accentuate it, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, what does it sound like?
From the outside.
And what does it sound like from the inside?
Very quiet. Nothing pumped in, which is great.
Yeah, it sounds fine from inside when you floor. Like unoffensive, just like what I'd expect out of a lower trim Cayenne. It's kind of cool having like a 911 steering wheel.
I know.
You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
look at me. Look at me. So more stuff. Visors. I don't think Porsches ever pass, do they?
I think some of them do.
2, 1.
No, maybe they don't. I don't
If
remember.
a base Cayenne doesn't pass.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I love about this, Porsche design clock. Look at that clock. That looks incredible. And then the second hand moves so smoothly.
Okay, and then a cup holders. You pointed out something funny. We got a small Timmy's as always. The left one
Fail.
sinks to the bottom, but we have a raised edge on
Yeah.
the one on the right.
So I put it in that one, and a small Timmy's also
Slides
fails.
right into the thing.
So if you have it on the outside edge of that on the lip, it does pass.
So this is a super fail on the cup holders.
For some reason it is, shockingly.
Yeah, well, this thing is not removable.
No, it's not.
I guess that's only for cars.
911.
Can you order a ashtray?
I don't know.
Probably. And then how do you like the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto? How do you like Android Auto? Remember you were an Android guy for a while?
Don't even remember what it looks like. Apple CarPlay works really great on here. We have the full screen display, so it actually looks really nice through there.
And the buttons aren't super small for your fingers anymore like they were like 3 years ago.
And it's wired or wireless, so when you plug in your phone, it asks you, which is amazing.
Yes, wired or wireless. Like, why can't everyone just do that?
Yeah, good job, Porsche.
Looking at you, BMW.
Yeah, that's right.
And Supra.
There's many others. Oh, and this is a coupe. We've missed the most important aspect of this. I actually fit in the back seats very comfortably.
Nice.
And it's a 2+1 configuration, which is optional, which is kind of crazy for the coupe, but that just means that you now have a center seatbelt because it's a $0 option to get this, which is what we have.
Looks like there'd be a lot of room for a child seat in the back.
Yes, and then these seats are also really comfortable up front. We don't have a massage, but you can get that, but you do have adjustable bolstering, you do have adjustable lumbar and all that stuff. And they look cool.
I noticed nothing weird with the seats,
Yeah.
which is like the best thing about a seat.
Exactly. And if you're buying one of these, you're probably interested in towing. 7,700 pounds. That is a lot of jet skis. Like a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, and then last thing I noticed, head-up display. It's pretty good. It's just a little bit like not as clear as the one in the Mercedes that I'm driving right now. It doesn't jive with my eyes as well.
Maybe you need to get your glasses refocused because I had no problems with it.
No, I definitely have vision problems.
Okay. So if you don't have vision problems like I don't, the head-up display is great.
And if you do have vision problems, there are other manufacturers who have more clear head-up displays to read.
All right.
And then to end it off, me fighting for coupes over SUVs, we have a ton of room back there. I feel like you're like barely missing out on anything unless, I don't even know what you'd need that extra bit of room for. And we have a close and a close and lock button up there.
Yep, that's about it with this SUV, even though I like the regular one better, but this is my favorite coupe. Let's get to the price.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so this starts at $95,400.
Canadian.
With a couple option boxes ticked, it's $136,950.
Cool.
Okay, here. We don't love the new X3s and X5s and things with the new BMW infotainments.
I do not, yeah.
They do drive pretty well.
Yeah.
Although now, with this infotainment, with everything laid out, with the way that this thing drives, I think there's actually a really good reason to get this over a BMW.
Yeah, I like the infotainment and stuff. It's all pretty chill.
Because of all the other luxury SUVs that are kind of comparable, BMWs drive really well, just like this does, but this just takes it to that next level, even though this is more expensive. But now it's also just easier to use, better laid out, and also more impressive.
Hey, if I had the money, I would go to tsp.truecar.com. You know what I'd buy?
One of these? Or another Prowler?
If I was looking for this kind of SUV. Come on, best guess.
A Maserati, whatever it's called.
Whatever Maserati at the end of that price.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So cliche.
But this is nice. I like it.
It's really nice.